Hey, it's Angela from the blog AngelaMarieMade.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make a vintage-looking DIY poster frame. For our bedroom makeover that we've been working on, I knew I wanted to include a large piece of artwork in one of those long vintage gold frames that I've been seeing all over Pinterest. But I didn't exactly have time to go thrifting for the perfect gold frame and especially finding one that would be the perfect size. So I decided to make one instead using wood. For the actual artwork, I bought mine as a digital download from Juniper Print Shop, which I'll link below in the description box. And I had it printed as a poster in a 24 by 36 size using mpix.com, which is one of my favorite resources to get things printed. For this project, you're going to need 3/4 inch thick molding. I found mine at Lowe's. You're also going to need a 1/4 inch thick plywood and 1/2 inch thick boards that are 1.5 inches tall by 3 feet wide. Alternatively, you could just use 1x2s that are 8 feet long, but they are 3/4 inches thick, and I really wanted my frame border to be a 1/2 inch thick, so that's why I use the 1/2 inch thick boards. These cuts are to make a poster frame that is 15.5 inches tall by 34 inches wide by 1.5 inches thick. You can get the full material list, cut list, and tutorial on my blog, which is linked below in the description box. Okay, let's get started with this DIY poster frame. Step 1 is to cut the molding and lumber to size. Use a miter saw and make the following cuts from the molding with 45-degree angle cuts. Cut 2 pieces at 14.5 inches from long point to long point, and 2 pieces at 33 inches from long point to long point. Then make the following cuts from the 1/2 inch thick boards with 45-degree bevel cuts. Do 2 pieces at 14.5 inches from short point to short point, and 2 pieces at 33 inches from short point to short point. Next, have the 1/4 inch thick plywood cut at your home improvement store, or use a circular saw with a straight edge or a table saw. Cut the 1/4 inch thick plywood to a little bit less than the inside size of the frame, which will be 14.5 inches tall by 33 inches wide. Step 2 is to attach the frame molding together. Use wood glue and 1-inch brad nails with a brad nailer and attach the molding together at the corners to construct the poster frame. We used clamps to help with this step. Also, just add 1 nail towards the bottom of the molding edge where it's thicker. Step 3 is to attach the outside board to the frame molding. Use wood glue and 1-inch brad nails again and attach the 1/2 inch thick boards around the frame molding. We use clamps again to help with this step. Also, we marked 3/4 of an inch down from the outside board edge to make sure we added the brad nails in just above this mark so that they didn't go through the thin part of the molding and they only went through the thicker part. After adding the nails around the edges, we put 2 nails through each of the 4 corners where the 2 1/2 inch thick boards joined each other. Step 4 is to fill all the nail holes and any gaps in with wood filler or a lightweight spackle. Step 5 is to cut the poster to size. I used my frame to first determine where I wanted to cut my poster. Cut the poster to fit your 1/4 inch thick plywood backing board. I made my poster a little bit smaller than the plywood. At first I tried to use a craft blade cutter to cut the poster, but then I realized it was much easier to just use scissors since I didn't need a perfect cut because my poster edges will be covered by the frame. Step 6 is to attach the poster to the plywood. I used glue dots to do this. I used one glue dot on each corner of my poster to secure it to the plywood. These are easily removable if I ever want to change the artwork out. Step 7 is to add a finish to the DIY poster frame. I chose to do a metallic gold finish for my frame. I wanted it to look like a vintage worn gold finish. I saw a rub and buff tutorial by Genesu Design, which was really pretty, and I loved the look of it, so I decided to use it. I'll link her tutorial below, which explains this in more detail. I started with a flat black spray paint on the frame. Then I used the color Gold Leaf and a cheap $1 chip brush and a lint-free rag to apply the rub and buff and then buff it out. It dries super fast, so you have to work quickly. The last step is to attach the plywood with the artwork to the frame. Attach the plywood to the frame with 3/4 inch screws through the back of the plywood. Make sure to add them towards the edges of the plywood so the screws go through the thicker part of the molding. Finally, I hung my DIY poster frame up on the wall with anchors into the drywall, and I just hung the poster frame from the back ledge of it on top of the anchors with screws. I love how cool and vintage this DIY poster frame turned out. And I'm so happy that I was able to make it in the exact size that I wanted as well. I'll be sharing the final bedroom makeover soon. You can always follow me on Instagram at Angela Marie Made to see sneak peeks and behind the scenes. I'll be sharing the full makeover reveal soon, and I'm really excited about it. So please subscribe to follow along and see more fun DIY and decor videos. Thanks for stopping by.